So NCAA Vault, what is it?
The NCAA Vault is basically attached to NCAA.com, which is NCAA's primary website for championships. And the Vault essentially is a video platform in which we've taken 150 games from the last decade from the NCAA Division I men's basketball tournament and opened them up to the public. You can access those games free of charge. You can jump into the games at any point in time. And those games are from the Sweet 16 of the tournament through the championship game. So it's a really interesting piece in which we've enabled consumers to come in and look at the archive and open it up to their liking. They can work with it.
And it's not just a raw, several hours of live games. It's every moment is indexed and there's metadata, so you could look for a specific shot, a specific moment, and then link directly to that.
Yeah, so it's really a new publishing model when it comes to video and broadband. So effectively, we've indexed every play, every stat, every player for the Sweet 16 championship game, or Sweet 16 games all the way to the championship for the last decade. So we've enabled it to where every moment is already pre-identified, but we've also made it into our players so that if the consumer can't find, didn't see what they were looking for, they can instantly hit, and create their own moment and post it into Facebook, Twitter, and other social mediums as well.
And what's the point of breaking the game into moments like this as opposed to just chunking it up into plays the way YouTube might?
Well, what we found over time is that people consume video online not so much on a full game basis, but on a moment basis. People want to be able to instantly jump into a full game, and they instantly want to be able to go across any given moment that's relevant to them. If they just want to come in and get a dunk, they can actually look at each individual dunk from each individual player, and they'll spend time breaking the game down and consuming what they want rather than having to watch make a 2-hour commitment into a game. So it's all about just more viewership, more dwell time, and giving consumers specific relevance based on so they can spend their time more effectively.
So obviously a lot of college students would watch something like this, a huge endemic audience there, but who else is a site like this for?
I think not only the college audience, but also the media can use it as well. I mean, if you go back and if the media is writing a story and they're comparing a game from 2003 to a game in this year's tournament and they want to talk to a moment, they can easily go in and link right into the Vault. That exact moment that they're describing in the story, they can post a link, boom, takes the consumer right into the Vault. And the media then can show the example of exactly what they're trying to describe in the written articles.
So if you're a sports blogger, you don't have to hope that an old game is archived on YouTube and then tell someone go to minute 5, second 3. It's something you can send a specific link to that moment directly from your site to theirs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we're already seeing that. There's some that's already out there. This was out in soft launch last week, and it's just kind of virally taken off, and bloggers are already starting to do that. It's great.
So one thing you're going to hear a lot of complaints about is you can't right now embed videos. What's kind of in the future of the platform? What are some things you're going to add to it?
So we'll add the full screen capability right now. It's designed for actually the consumption, putting more metadata around it. So we'll add the full screen player, and we'll also make it to where eventually we'll add the embeddable side of it. Right now, though, what people are really excited about is that they actually don't have to come in and search and wait anymore. So the speed of the player is actually extremely fast. So the consumers are very happy because it connects directly into their Facebook and Twitter, commenting sections. So because a lot of it's connected to the social medium, player embeds aren't necessarily as relevant for this first phase, but as it gets more into the blogger space and to the publishing space, that's something that we'll do for phase 2.
So some sports leagues have done a nice job with mobile, and the iPad is coming out, and these are both platforms where Flash is not part of them, and your site right now is built in Flash. Can you, going forward, serve more platforms?
Yeah, so everything in our particular system today, it is Flash-based. However, every given moment is actually broken down and is ad addressable. So it is an indexable kind of URL, if you will. So even though there's a consumer front end that's Flash-based, the entire back end of our platform allows for the push to all the other platforms as well, literally all the way to the live broadcast if we want. So it's a very flexible, dynamic system, and we'll support those particular pieces. Again, our focus was simply on getting the social context out, because that's really where social context meets the archive, is how the rights and the value is starting to really develop out of these collections.
So Greg, you are not a TV network. You're not even a for-profit company. What's the whole point of the NCAA taking all this footage, turning into a site, and hoping that people would go there?
Sure, a couple things. Number one is we're trying to provide value back to the site of NCAA.com and the rights holder in that case, which is CBS. CBS has the opportunity, we're working with them, they're the ones that are physically going out and selling the NCAA vault. So in conjunction with Thought Equity, what we're providing is a unique asset for NCAA.com to hopefully help CBS and continue to drive the value of the site. At the same time, we're also trying to open up the NCAA basketball and help promote the NCAA brand through the vault. I mean, to have all those games available and people can easily access them, it's not a closed where people can't find it. Now it's open to anybody, and it's a great way to promote the game.
So you talk of this as kind of a pilot project. What makes you happy? What's a successful pilot for you in terms of readers or viewers or video streamed or something like that?
Sure. Last March, NCAA.com had about 15 million unique visitors, and that takes into account March Madness On Demand, which is the live component of where all 63 games from the first round on are streamed live from the tournament. We, for success for this, would look to have somewhere between the million and the 1.5 million range for the NCAA vault alone, so about 10 to 15% of that traffic for just the NCAA vault. If we had that, I think it would be a huge success.
If each student looked at one video,
if each
or
student looked
something
at
like
one
that.
video for 10 minutes, we need to make sure that they're looking at it for a while. That would be great.
With the ability to do a lot of stuff on the web now and run your own ship, is this a future beyond CBS, or is that taking it too far?
That may be taking it too far. I think what we're trying to do is open up and be on the forefront in terms of people accessing content. And eventually, we would love to open up our entire archive. It includes 23 sports, 88 championships, and to have any student athlete, whether it be the student athlete that competed in the Division III volleyball championship, to be able to go in and see their content and their name linked into their stats and be able to find their plays, that's like a dream. There's a long way to get there, and this is just kind of the beginning of it, and we hope that this month will prove that this content does have value and we can continue to build it out and include those other sports.